Hello and welcome back. We're going to pick off where we left off of with part 1. Today is part 2. Where focus goes, energy flows. All right. Today I want to take this one step further, how we talked about how you could shift your personal life, like your personal truths, and you can evolve and shift said personal truths by redirecting where your focus goes, because that will then flow the energy. So what I had mentioned yesterday was about my personal story about how I considered the only options to handling my mental health and PTSD was to use substances. It was either be a non-person or be on substances as how I could get things accomplished. So that was the only truth I knew. I was unaware of the infinite amount of possibilities on how to retrain your brain and create a lifestyle that supports who you are authentically. So what needed to happen was a redirection of focus. It was a redirection of focus from I'm a victim and I am sad and this is hard and this is challenging and I am a victim of my brain, I am a victim of my memories, and I'm a victim of this anxiety. And I shifted that focus into I can heal this. I can manage this. I can become capable. I can live a life that I deserve alongside of my pain. I can do this, basically. And it was just that shifting of beliefs that started to allow the old life to disintegrate. Because it no longer has space in your personal truth. It is no longer your truth. And you are the only thing maintaining this reality. So when you start to disintegrate an old reality that no longer fits with the new retrained brain, it disappears. It does. It disappears because it doesn't fit in this new truth. It has no energy to survive in this new way of being because all you did was shift that focus. You starved it of your attention. And that was all you needed to do to make it stop plaguing you. So let's take this another step forward. And what are some other times or other situations or experiences where we can be mindful of what we give our focus to? I'll use some personal examples personally. People trying to start arguing with me. I don't even give that focus. I ignore it, honestly. I don't care. It's not disrespectful. Someone trying to argue with you is disrespectful. So I just ignore it. I laugh it off. I think it's funny that people think that whatever this could have been a conversation needs to be a scolding argument or pointing of fingers or a condescension or a belittlement. I don't know why people think you need that in a conversation. You don't. You don't. You can have those thoughts. You're more than welcome. But self-mastery, home dogs, you don't need to be like, because if you put your energy into it, you put your focus into it, that's where your energy goes. Don't you have other things for your energy to do? I don't know about you, but like, I feel like I don't have enough energy. Like, I know it's an infinite amount, but like with how my mental health is and the things that I need to focus on, my non-negotiable needs, so that I can be like the best, highest potential, I don't have excess energy to fight with somebody. I don't have excess energy to get somebody to understand my point of view. I don't. Unless it's my boyfriend or my best friends. Those are the only people, like the people that like love me so deeply that it matters to express. But even at that point, they wouldn't come at me with drama, argumentative, like they wouldn't. So that's why it's different. Like the people in my life that are very close to me would not challenge me in a way where it's a waste of energy. Because they are acknowledgement and in acknowledgement and respect my way of being, my lifestyle of being, where that if it doesn't matter, if it's trivial and doesn't apply something into my life for future growth or healing or movement or motivation or anything like that, if it doesn't do any of those things, I don't pay attention to it. I don't even focus on it. I don't entertain it. I don't write it down. I don't get into it. I just go, oh, okay, that's what's happening. Cool. Because we have bigger goals. And when you shift your focus away from your bigger goals, away from your new morals and values, away from your authentic place of being, you're putting that energy that could have gone into the alignment of self into a drain, like a downspout, just a flow of energy that's not coming back to you at all, because that's not coming back to you. Like, for instance, within my relationship, I had mentioned a bunch of videos ago about how when my boyfriend had like way more energy than I did, and he was just goofing off, and I wasn't in the mood to goof off because like I was tired. Didn't need to be a fight. Even though my internal body was like, I was like, okay, I see you. I feel you. Let's just nip it in the butt real quick. Hey, are you being helpful or harmful? Like, what is it here? Because it's not, you're not helping me, and I could use the help, and then we laugh about it. And we move on, because that is my future. I'm in a relationship with somebody that every time we have open communication and respectful discussion, we evolve and change. So I know that man's my future. So yeah, I'll take the time to defuse a bomb, right? Because he didn't mean it intentionally. And where that focus is going and my energy is going is into my future. That's in alignment with my goals. Same with my best friends. The two girls, like, these girls that I hang out with right now, like, if I could just absorb them, that's how close of a hug I want to give them sometimes, And is everything always peachy keen and strawberries and cream? No, it's not. We all have our issues. We all have hard days where our mentalities get the best of us and sometimes can come out on each other. And you know what happens then? We sit down and we say, hey, I don't think you meant to sound that way, but it came off like this. And I'm not wondering anything about like how you feel about me. I'm actually more concerned, like, how are you feeling? Like what's going on at home? What's going on at work? Because like you're typically not like that. You're very empathetic and compassionate and thoughtful. And I just felt like it was a little off today. So like, what's going on? Because they're my future too. Like, I don't know how to explain that or express that. There's people that I've met in my lineage of life that there's just basically your bridesmaids, right? The girls that you have up in there. Like, not all the time I hang out with some of my old friends anymore. They're in New Jersey. My one best friend from New Jersey, she has kids now, and it's just tough, right? But that doesn't mean that during the time of my life, or the 5 years that we spent together as best friends, we went through hella trial and tribulations. We even didn't talk to each other for like a year based on some stuff. I don't even remember, because like it doesn't matter, because we came together and we respectfully communicated, because you can feel the difference when there's a soul connection and when there's just a surface connection. And because when surface connections, if it's a surface connection, then surface level stuff will disrupt and dispute and disintegrate a relationship. But when you have that soul connection, no matter what happens in life, you're going to come back together because of that depth and that connection through vulnerability and the ways that we're able to relate to each other because we've had similar traumas or similar pasts. And that connection, to me, matters, because those are the only connections where I don't feel alone in a room full of people. Because when I look across the room, I know that we both kind of have the same vibe going on. And it's not codependency based off of our situations and experiences. No, it's just a deeper understanding of each other because of what we've overcome. And I think that those connections, future. Those are the ones that are like rock solid. Doesn't matter what happens. And those are worth the conversation. They're not uncomfortable either. I always preface it that way. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be uncomfortable or not, but I have to say something. And anytime I do, any of these close friends are just like, that wasn't uncomfortable. I needed to hear that. Or you needed to hear, like, and I think those are worth it. Flowing your energy into people like that. So where I will focus on them. I will focus on those deep-rooted connections. And I've met a million plus people in my life, it feels like. It feels like so many based off the different towns I've lived in. So you could say, oh, Lex, you probably have like 1,000 friends. No. It's only these true soul-connecting people that I consider worth the energy, the expenditure, because it's not an expenditure, because when I put into them, they always, without a doubt, put back into me. Always. Even that long distance girlfriend, she just comments on my post, and she's just like, wow, I'm so proud of you. Because it's only people who've been through hell or been through hell with you and acknowledge that strife. They don't surface level disrupt. They say shit like, I'm proud of you. And I can't wait to see what you do next. Or I'm so excited. Like, because life is hard enough. We don't need excess challenges with our support system. That's a support system. So I'd rather be alone than have a bunch of non-support. Because why would I put all my focus into lack of support when that is the key thing that I need in my life at all times, is support. I do have mental health struggles. I do have a trauma-riddled past. I do need support. We were all going to carpool to a thing a couple weeks ago, and I texted my friend out of the group message that I was nervous about it. I didn't know why. I just got anxious. I don't like that lack of autonomy of not having my own car to run away if I need to. But then as she allowed me to talk about that, I recognized, who am I running away from? And it's that ease of connection and the lack of defensiveness from her that was able to let me to get to that root and be like, okay, it's just my past. It's not you guys. It's not the situation, and I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to do it nervous and scared. I'm going to do it anyway because I trust you guys. And that is a part of my future. So where my focus goes with these girls is part of my future because they're helping me heal, they're helping me grow, and vice versa. So, right, that's how you know that that's important focus, that those interpersonal connections are important focus. Not all interpersonal connections are worth your focus and energy. No, you're allowed to have a multitude of them, but once it starts to get, this is my rule of thumb, right when it starts to make me like this and like confused and sore in the head and like, I'm done. I just put the phone down, or I put the friend away, or I put that interpersonal connection away. It doesn't matter. Nobody needs to. I don't deserve to feel uncomfortable in that way. So, you need to believe that, though. That you deserve more than that. You deserve the unwavering support. So, here's another focus shift. Comfort food. This is my personal recent one. Comfort foods is what's helping my mentality right now. And I feel great because I've been eating 3 meals a day and things that I thoroughly enjoy. But now I'm gaining weight. We've talked about this a couple episodes ago. So now I had to reshift my focus, not into self-deprecation, not into let's eat less. No, shift the focus. Let's become healthier. How can we become healthier? I'm glad we're eating. I'm glad our mentality's better. What's the next step? So we're shifting the focus not into, oh my gosh, I did a new thing to help my mentality and all it did was make me fat. Like, no, that's a negative and that's a personal truth. That's not a truth. It's a personal truth. So when you shift that focus to, okay, that's what happened. Proactive decision here. I'm going to shift my focus to healthier eating. More movement, more working out, more exercise. This shift of focus is now funneling my energy into that lifestyle, subsequently disintegrating my cravings for comfort foods. No, it's true. I was just talking to the lady at the grocery store about it. It was like mind-blowing. I told her I've been working out and I've been shifting my focus into this new concept of a lifestyle that I'm trying to build. And all of a sudden, I just woke up this morning and all I wanted was a banana, my workout, a cup of tea, and then lunch. It's blowing my mind. None of those things are comfortable. Well, they weren't, but now it's the new comfort because I expanded my comfort zone by shifting my focus and funneling my energy into this new avenue of growth. An opportunity, an option. And I don't have to force my body to crave healthy. I don't have to no, it was the natural progression of shifting the focus and allowing the energy to flow into this new idea, this new personal truth where I am fit. I am healthy. I am athletic. I don't know. That's a hard one to say. We're not there yet. But you're shifting into these new positive affirmations. Instead of sitting, because that's the thing, I sat in the comfort food thing for about a year, and that's okay. I'm not saying it's bad. Whatever you need to get to the next step. And so I got to the next step, though. You got to shift the focus. Your personal truths are meant to evolve. So now I'm shifting the focus because I'm proud of myself too, because like I did do what I needed. I did get the regular food in there, and I've practiced it enough that I already have like dinner made or dinner prep for later, and I got lunch already made for tomorrow. Like that's amazing. And it's not weighing me down. It's not overwhelming as it used to be. So once you master a thing, you are supposed to shift your focus into that next evolution of self. And yeah, that's not a bad thing. These are good things. But I'm telling you, it's true. If you shift that focus appropriately, the old reality disintegrates. Now I'm a workout person. So my mornings look like that. And now my lifestyle is reflecting that. Because that's the only place I'm directing my focus. I'm not allowing myself both focuses. That's not a funneled, concentrated energy. That's a dispersed energy that's not going to get you anywhere. That's like the something of all, master of none, jack of all trades, master of none. You're right, exactly. I want to master self. So I'm not going to spread my focus over a bunch of personal truths. I'm going to evolve from one personal truth to the next, and then the next, and the next. Does that mean, though, when I'm having a bad day, a downslope in my mental health, that I'm not going to eat comfort food? No, I'm probably going to do that, but guess what? I'm probably going to exercise a shit ton first. Because this is my new personal truth, that I'm releasing all the brain chemicals I need in a 30-minute exercise versus having to do like these huge meals and all this meal prep and all this focus. I can actually just exercise and get the same chemical release, which is like mind-blowing because I got a little anxious over that when I figured out the food's helping. I was like, it's got to be 3 meals a day. Like, I still eat 3 meals a day, but it doesn't need to be these huge, heavy but that's what I needed at the time. So we're evolving the personal truths. But if we're having a bad mental health day, we're not going to completely disintegrate the new personal truth to accommodate for the old. No, we'll have some chips, maybe have a little fried potato, but we're also going to work out, maybe not just for 30 minutes. Maybe we're going to do an hour. You see what I'm saying? Because when you shift that personal focus and that energy flows to it, you now accept this is the new reality. I don't even have another one. Talking about what we talked about yesterday in part 1 about timeline jumps and reality shifts and past lives. You can have thousands of past lives in this lifetime with energy shift, with focus shifting. You totally can. You just have to keep recognizing when you get to a point where you plateau. At that plateau, it's time for an evolution of self, an evolution of focus. It never goes like this. It always goes like this. But that's also up to you. Because you will notice when you feel stagnant. Like all these things were working for me for a really long time, right? A whole year. And then all of a sudden, poof, I felt stagnant. I felt lack of motivation. I wasn't accomplishing as much as I was in the day as I did a year ago when I first started that. So that means I mastered that practice. I learned everything I needed from it, and it's time to shift my focus and level up to that next evolution of self. And this is in alignment with my self-mastery goals. Same with these friends who are helping me heal. Same with my relationship, right? And that is all that needs my focus. That's it. And even my family. I love my family. But I'm not going to focus my energy. I'm not going to focus on if there's let's say, I don't know. It hasn't been, but let's just say there's drama. I wouldn't focus on that. I would take a bow out. I would stay a middleman. I'd stay unopinionated because I don't have I just don't have the energy for that. And that's okay. It's not aligned with my future. My future is that we all get along, right? And grateful, thankfully, that's, right now it's very cohesive. So, that's great. But arguments, picking sides, talking nasty about people behind their backs, anything like that is not in alignment with my future goals. It's not in alignment with who I'm trying to become, so it's a waste of my time and energy. That's why we cannot have simple placation of others. And that's why we have an episode from a month ago that says people-pleasing is an injustice to self and others. It's an injustice to the evolution of society. It's an injustice to all of humanity. Because you're taking all these sidewinding steps off of your path of alignment to what? Placate? Why? Now they're not learning and you're not growing. And now everyone's just pressing a pause button and we're all just going like this. No. We are evolving so fast with our advancements. The fact that we don't have to sit down and rewind a VHS tape after we're done watching a movie, we take these things for granted. You have a lot more extra time than you did in the 90s. I'm telling you that. So don't be frivolous with it. Put your focus where you want your energy to flow. And your energy is the true currency of the universe. If you don't disperse your energy so thinly across 1,000 different avenues, you're going to have a strong, solid empowerment. And that is what accomplishes things. And that is capability. That is overcoming. So, where your focus goes, your energy flows. So ask yourself next time, is this worth my value? Is this worth my personal currency? Because you are paying for it. Or do you want to let that disintegrate and create a new reality with a new focus? It's all your choice. We're always given 2 options. All right, guys. Have a great day. If you put yesterday and today together, it's a 40-minute one. So watch it back to back. And we'll see you again tomorrow for a longer episode.